Good morning, good morning. So we're at a different setup than usual. This is a Fiberific dye house, aka my back patio. I will not be giving a tour because it is the dumping ground of our home. I have a little section. This is my section, the rest of it is, we're not going there. So I'm just going to double check if you can see me, you can hear me, all that kind of jazz. I'm just going to be running in here just to double check. I think I have to refresh. How do I make it refresh? No, it's gone to a different video. That's bad. I'm going to not the video I want to go to. Fiberific is live. There we go. There's just an ad. There's an ad. I have to watch an ad. Oh no, I accidentally hit the ad. Go away. Oh my god, this is the worst. It's totally the worst. There we go. Oh dear. Okay. I don't know what's going on. If you can let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm just going to pull the chat up now. I can hear and see you. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So we have two pots, you guys. We're going to be doing two different projects, and at first things I'm going to mute this laptop because I didn't realize it was not muted. There's always something, isn't there? Make sure the phone is not on the same work. No, it is not. I have the laptop running off one and the phone on another. Is it very glitchy, is it? Let me see. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. All I was seeing was a frozen ad screen. So that's not good. Oh my God's pot. Don't touch the hot pots. No, the pots themselves are not that hot. There's a couple of very important things to remember. Is you're not boiling the yarn. So we're going to go through all of this. First things I've got is one's very shallow and one's very deep because we are dyeing two completely different things today. The first thing we're going to dye is some more of Fifi's hair. So that's going to be in the shallow pot. We do those one at a time. There's another way to do it, but for this we'll do it this way. This is the way I originally did it. When I'm testing dyeing, I test one at a time because I have more control, and if I screw it up I've only wasted one because that's how I think of it. I can either hear traffic simmering or it's simmering. Sorry, sweet peas. There's going to be some background noises. The pots are simmering. They're on electric induction cookers, so that does make a little bit of noise. Let me hear it buffered, but that's easy to fix with a fresh. Fantastic. I'm so glad. I've done a dyeing video before. That was just a little camera next to the pot kind of thing. It was not so much, you know, we've got the overhead camera and we've got this camera and we've got lighting. Tell you what though, this lighting needs to stay here because this patio gets a little dark first thing in the morning. It's better to dye it here in the afternoons, but I can see the pots really well. Maybe you should get a Fifi's hair today. Well, maybe you can get the one that's going in the pot. I think I dyed 4 and last count 3 of them are gone, so there's only 1 left to go. I'm just going to go like this and bring that back up just so I can see more settings. Alright, now the other thing that we're going to be dyeing in it's more of a wash dye rather than a painting dye or direct method dyeing is we have these 2 skeins, and I had a plan which was we're going to be making, that's a purple sort of over the top of a beautiful light blue, and I'm making a set with this and the purple, and I realized I didn't dye any of the blue, so we're going to have a go at trying to remember what Chantel used to dye this blue, because it's a slightly different blue than I normally do. Good morning, Daigo. Hey, Crochet Clock. Crochet Clock, thank you so much for your shout out. I don't normally do those kinds of videos, but I meant to message you and I've just been a bit snowed under. So many things happening at Fiberific at the moment, and just in my life in general. So we've got I've got a wedding on the weekend that I'm going to. It's a sleepover one because it's so far away we have to travel. And so that Saturday and Sunday, then Sunday afternoon I have to come home and load the car to go to Redlands to set up the stalls for the Redlands the Redlands Craft Open Day, which is fantastic. Then that runs on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I've got to take Abby for another fracture clinic appointment. Her break is worse than we anticipated, and her ski trip is off, so she's very sad. And then Thursday and Friday, the Fiberific is moving from its current address, not very far away, but it's all the packing and moving, and then continue on getting ready for Bendigo after that. So there's a lot happening, and I don't, no offense to you guys, but I didn't have time to sit and crochet, but I do need to dye. So I hope you don't mind me dyeing while chatting with you guys. I can still see the chat. It is, I should probably grab my glasses. It's a smidge further away than usual. Where are we? And I'm sure you have, I do, look at this. I have a notebook. Oops, I'm just making sure I don't give away any of my dyeing secrets. Turn it to a blank page. You guys, I love you all, but I do have some proprietary things. Why are you moving? Oh, so the boys in the big shed have moved, and my lease is with them. It's not with the building, and so they invited me to move with them. So it was either move with them or move home. I didn't have much in the way of options. The camera on this is struggling to get through the steam, so the colour's going to keep changing, so I'm very sorry about that, but I can't do anything about it. We all know the industry secrets. Yeah, so I have my notepad and I have my pen. So yeah, so that's all ready to go. I am a bit of a busy little bee. Hello Tara, hello Chintamani and Marion and Jenny. Jenny, is it 2 a.m. for you? Because I freak out every time you tell me, honestly. I do have, because I am at home, I have my trusty coffee. What have we got here? It's a little bit cold and cloudy, but it is 2 a.m. Gosh. Good morning to everybody. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the hair. Start with Fifi's hair. Its yarn has been soaking just a smidge longer. I was a bit more prepared for that one. I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, it's brain. So we're going to start with the Fifi's hair. So what we've got in here is, it's about 1 inch of water, and it's see, you can see it's steaming, but it's not rolling. I'm doing this with the same 50-50 blend of BFL and silk, and so with silk, if you don't want that water up over 70-75 degrees, it dulls your silk. So we really want to make sure we keep well under it, but at the same time heat setting the yarn. So there's a balancing act to play. No tea today, I'm sorry, I didn't plan that far ahead. I have not fully recovered from my bug. I still have coughing fits, which are not fun. So what I'm going to do is I've just got a bucket. You can just see the white edge of it here, but it's a bucket full of yarn that's been soaking in, I soak in Tantex Delicate Wash first. I just find that it seems to brighten the colours when I'm dyeing. I don't know why. Hey Oreo, how are you going? Alright, so let's grab one of these. There's a little, there's a So they've been soaking for, I don't know, maybe an hour. I probably would have liked a little longer, but I wasn't that organised. So I'm opening up the circle and I'm going to drop it in. I've got a little doozy, just a plastic spoon, just because I want that to fill out as much with yarn as possible and make sure it's all opened up. Now in this water as well is already some citric acid, because we're acid dyeing. I use jacquard dyes mostly, and they need citric acid to colour fix, and if they don't colour fix our yarns, then it destroys our projects and we cry. There's actually probably a smidge more water in here than I would like, so I'm just gonna drop it in the pot next door. We want the yarn damp and enough water to cover it. But because we're going to direct dye this yarn, we are going to, we need it to just sort of sit here on the yarn and not fluff around in the water too much. Sally says she's still coughing weeks after. Oh, I know. I totally know. I don't have any money to throw at Oreo either. Sorry, Oreo. Doozy What's-It from now on. I'm going to call my spoons Doozy What's-It's. Totally. This technically is no longer a spoon because it's been used for dyeing, and once you use something for dyeing, it can never go back to food. Tammy's in the chat. Hello, Tammy. They're not noodles. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, in the Instagram competition, Fifi came up with, she wanted yarn dyed in the colours of her hair, and she said that was magenta, purple, grey, and silver. So I know that my black, if I water it down a little, goes to a really nice grey, and if it's really light, it makes silk a little silverish. And I also had a really good pink I wanted to try for the magenta, and my favourite purple mix. Now, no offence to any of you guys, so please don't be offended. I'm not going to be sharing my particular blends of colours. So it is trial and error. It's grab, like, I normally get these big dye pots from Jacquard Dyes, but you can totally get little mini pots and have a try and mix colours together. You'll find your own colours that no one else has, and it's so exciting to do it. So, you know, it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. Andrew says, my mum used to use the same wooden spoon for dyeing and cooking, and maybe that explains you. Well, it depends. Excuse me, it depends on how she dyes. Like, if she dyed with food colouring, it's fine. But if she's dyeing with, like, RIT dyes and things like that, dude, that totally explains a lot. Kim's giving herself a manicure because she broke 2 nails on a school run. What kind of school run do you do where you can break nails? Crochet Clocks. Oh, yes, please. Don't forget to like and share. And anyone who you think might be interested, if you're in a Facebook group, please share the post and they can come in and join our chat. Okay, so let's get dyeing, really. Now, for the original ones, I wanted to make sure that the pink really popped. So I wanted to place a little bit first so that it could have prime position. Good morning, Emma. You guys, Emma Gehring is the lady who helps me out at Bendigo and is my go-to for venting. Sorry, Emma. I do that a lot. So we're going to start with some of this beautiful pink. Can you see how bright? That's how bright this pink is. It's so bright, it looks fluorescent. And so I just scoop a little bit up with the spoon and I just place it across. See how bright that is? And it's not running away in the water because the water is at a nice temperature. I've got it set at 60 degrees. And because of the way we're dyeing, it doesn't matter if we get these little spots over here at all. And I just give it a little slush around just so we get some of this softer pink that will blend with some other colours. And I also want to just pop a little bit in each little section. But we have to remember we've got other colours that we get to play with. So just zhuzh in there. So technical. I'm such a technical dyer. I've got our little pot of water here that I'm just using to rinse my spoon between colours. So we've got our purple. She's no lady. I'm not going to comment on that one, Emma. Totally not commenting. We need 10s more likes to catch up to the watchers. Running away, is that like bleeding? No. So basically I want the colours to be brighter in some sections, and so it doesn't run in the water. So I'm not sure if you can see. I'll do it down here. The water itself is just starting to, you can't really see it, it's starting to pink up just a smidge, and that is good because it'll get the bottom side of the yarn. So yeah, I missed the start. How do you measure and manage your temperature? I don't know if you can't see, but the particular cookers I've got, I wonder if I can, there we go, I'm just going to push that back. They've got a display and I go by the cooker's displays. So that's how I manage these temps. These are Kitchen Couture convection cookers. One of them where you got to use the certain pots on them, which this is my big W pots, so they work. The water is barely, it's hot. I wouldn't bathe in it because I would cook, but you can put your hands in it. It's like good hot dishwashing water. So it's at 60 degrees at the moment. I am going to pump it up to 80 when I put the lids on for 20 minutes and then turn the heat off and let it cool in the pot. So we've got our pink in. Now it's time for our purple. My general rule for me, now this, I don't know if this is a hard and fast dyeing rule. I don't know. No idea. I tend to go lightest to darkest so that if I make a mistake on the light, I can cover it with the dark. But if I go darkest to lightest, I can't seem to repair it as well. So, yeah. Alright, so now we're going to go in with some purple. So I went in like the cross sections before. This time I go in a little circle. There's no reason other than I like to make pretty patterns in the dye. That's it. And then I give it a little zhuzh out just to spread it out so it covers some of the pink as well. And you get some nice good pops of the dark purple, which we all love. That was just a bit, there we go, that needs a bit more zhuzhing. The other advantage of dyeing this way is you can get a feel for if there's any dye in the water. If you want your purple bits to be darker, if purple's more your color than pink, then you can add more purple to the pink, and go from there. And then I'm just rinsing my spoon because I'm on to the grey. Can I buy this at Redlands? If you want a Fifi's hair for Redlands, send me a message, because I don't think I've got any. I've got one available, plus maybe this one if it works. It'll work. Alright, now we've got some grey, and that I just sploshed around just a bit. This is a really good grey. It can go sort of silvery and it can go black. You don't want to go too hard with it because it is dark and we want to keep it nice and light. There we go. And that I'm pretty happy with. We've got some light bits on the bottom which will take up the excess dye in the water. And now it's time for this one to get its little lid on. I feel like you need squeezy bottles. I've got squeezy bottles and I actually feel like I have less control. Because with the squeezy bottles, when you tip them up, they start dripping straight away. Normally when I do direct dyeing, I don't do it in such a deep pot, but my other pans wouldn't fit on camera. I normally do it in a much shallower pot, so you do have more control. So this one's going to get its little lid on, and it's just going to, I've got a timer for it, so we're going to go, timer, we want to go 20 minutes, and we'll check that at the 20-minute mark. Alright, so that one's on. Are we ready? I'm just going to move the chat over the top of the other pot. There we go. Ha ha! How much yarn do you dye in each batch, one or many? For this particular colourway, I was dyeing one at a time. In my other pans, they're longer and I can put 2 in with no problems. So I have different things that I do for different dye methods. So when I'm direct pouring, my pan, like, it's limited to my pan because you need the yarn to be have a large surface area. So if you've got a small pan, you don't want to fill it deep because all the stuff at the bottom will stay white and only the very top layer will get any dye. So you want to make sure that in this particular pan, this is a, I think these are the 19 litres from Big Dub, so they're quite a large pot, but because I've only got 1 inch of water in a single skein in this one, I do like a nice long rectangular because I can run it twice and fit 2 or 3 in and still have decent things. I'm just catching up with the chat before we start. Andrea says this is such an art form, you're loving watching this. I'm glad, Andrea. I got a bit nervous, so I was like, oh, does anyone actually want to see me do any work? Oreo visited her very first crochet Crochet, Oreo Rocks visited her very first real yarn shop. Marion, thank you so much. I will take a sip of coffee and enjoy my coffee break. Thank you. Thanks so much for that. It's so much easier to see those messages. I had to read the post twice. I missed the basters the first time. I was thinking, what's a turkey got to do with it? Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I have, like, see, I have squeezy bottles for some dye methods, and I do use them on occasion, but I do find I don't have the control that I would like. With these particular bottles, they're little nozzle holes too big. I've got to find one where I can prick it myself and choose my own size. Can you use roasting pans assuming that they are steel and work on the induction cookers? You totally can. They just have to be steel, otherwise they won't work on these particular cookers. I have some things that I still do in the kitchen on the gas, just because I'm used to gas. These induction cookers I've only been using for about 12 months, and my comfort zone is the gas. And also the gas heats things up way faster. Oh, Freaky Geek wants to know how much damage you did to your pocketbook in the yarn store. Oh, we've got bird wars happening out here. Alright, now the catch with this one is I dyed this a little while ago and I can't remember exactly which blue I put through with this purple. So we're going to have a little play. I do want a slightly darker version of this blue, but not by much. So we're going to go gentle, gentle, sneaky monkeys. So I'm going to be grabbing, where's my 20ml spoon. I've made up a dye mix. Now when you see my spoon, don't freak out, it's just got citric acid on it. It's not growing. It's not like the blue stuff from The Expanse that will totally kill you. I've been watching The Expanse again, which I love, and I'm also listening to The Expanse audiobooks. Holy dooly, they are amazing. What's this? When dyeing, don't forget it's not actual cooking of food. Absolutely. Okay, so we've got some blue that I've made here. I'm just going to pop in a 20ml of the dye and have a little sort of eyeballing it, really. So on my eyeballs, it's much more tealy than what you're seeing. It definitely looks dark blue for you guys, but it's not at all, so no panic. Now for this particular one, this has got about, what did I put in here? Oops. It's got approximately 8 litres of water, 2 tablespoons of citric acid, plus the tablespoon of my dye mix. I really think I'm going to need more dye, but I would rather put it in, have the dye exhaust, pull it out, and then put more in. I'll be doing 3 skeins in this particular pot. I do normally do up to 5 at a time, 100 gram skeins. This one's 150 grams. I just turned the heat off this one, so just keep an eye on the time. So that one will be ready at 10:45 or thereabouts, or 10:40 probably is probably closer to the truth. But we keep its lid on to keep the heat in. Sorry, 2 things at once. What's Helen say? I should have written the recipe down. Yes, totally. So yeah, so we've got 8 litres of water, 2 tablespoons of citric acid. I get my citric acid in a big 10-litre bucket and just put, is it 10? No, it's a 20-litre bucket, 20 kilo bucket, and I just put it into a little container just for ease of use. Let's grab our yarn. I'm putting it off because the yarn has not had long enough to soak. So just give me a second while I grab the yarn. Where's your end? Alright, In the yarn goes. And again, with our doozy what's it spoon, we just give it a mix around. We do want to make sure that there's no white. Sometimes white is good, don't get me wrong. I like white speckles. It really makes colour pop. But in this particular one, we'd like no white and lots of little shades of blue. I think it's the right blue. It just needs more colour. So what I'm going to do, where's my bucket? I normally have a bucket handy, which I do not have. What have I done with it? You guys are just going to have to look at the yarn while I run and get a bucket. Oh, I filled it with water. That's the problem. Okay, I need the other bucket. Hang on. So professional, 99-cent buckets. They're very useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this yarn out. I've got little cable ties on the yarn, so it actually really helps to make it easier to pull it out. I've got a doozy what's it spoon with bits, spaghetti spoon I think it is. I don't know where I got it from, like a second-hand shop or something, and I just went, oh my god, that's what I need for digging out the loops of the water. So I want the water to stay in there, but I want the yarn out so I can mix the colour. I mean, I could totally just put the dye in on top, but then it wouldn't be sort of as even, and that would bug me. You would have sections of it that are really bright and sections of it that aren't, and I'm happy for that sometimes. Not in this instance. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to go, I mean, this is pretty, it's a bit of a duck egg, and I like that, but not for this particular project. So I'm going to actually put in 40 mils of dye this time, because I want it to be that smidge darker than the semi-solid that I've got there. Alright, and then we give that a stirry mixture pants to mix it all through so it's even in the pot. All this technical stuff. Absolutely, the what's it spoon is a technical term. In it goes. Oomph. I should possibly have put a, if you don't like the sound of water sloshing noises, you may need to deal with that before the live chat. Do you dye inside or outside? I dye outside. This is my back patio. It's a closed-in job. It's got mosquito mesh around it. Yeah, so it's one of those things. But it's definitely, yeah, it's outside, and it's one of those things. I've got the my tummy changes the temperature. Lucky it beeps when I do that. I'm really happy with this blue. I think it needs just some time in the water and a bit of a slosh around, and I think that's going to be good. So exciting. I think it's close. It could actually probably use another 20 mil. We are going to sneaky pour, so I can't be bothered pulling it out. Let's see what happens. Alright, we're going to just sneaky pour. No, we're not. I'd regret it. I would totally regret it. So I do these things every now and again where I'm like, I'll just do it this way just to be quicker, and then it's just like, oh my god, I ruined it! So I'm not going to ruin it on camera where you guys all get to see me cry, because that's bad. I just want to pull it out of the water and have a squeeze. Yeah. We might go one shade darker. One shade darker. Or one, scoop of dye darker rather than shade, probably is more technically correct. I don't know if we're working in shades. Scoop of dye. Swish it around. Anyone need to go to the loo? Ha ha ha. I'm going to have to roll back through the chat. You guys are having a good time. Don't do the sneak. Yeah. Kim used a roasting pan. It's more shallow. Yeah, if you're going to do this kind of dyeing, the direct pour, I would totally say a roasting pan is better. But I just couldn't fit it in the camera. There we go. That's better. That's going to do the job just nice. Just push it over. Now, blue and red are colours that take a lot longer to exhaust their dye. I don't know the science. I'm not that smart, but they totally do. You have mentioned how awesome it is. Sally, it is a pretty blue. I'm not sure if you're getting a true representation of the blue. It's very, very pale. I'll just see. It's very much similar to this blue that's here. Oh, bugger. Tummy temperatures. So yeah, so it's very similar to this blue. It's probably just a tad darker, which is what I was after. The thing to remember when you're colour matching dye is wet yarn is darker than dry yarn, so you want to make it just a smidge darker. Have you deliberately tried cracking purple dye? All the time. I love cracking purple dye. These dyes match your live stream graphics. They totally do, Jacob. They totally do. Unintentional, but I think these colours are permeating my life now. I think in these colours like I used to think in the green of the old Fiberific. But yeah, I totally like cracking dye. I think it's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun, but it's also it's difficult to make it do it exactly how you want it, where you want it. So it's one of those cool, it's like a serendipitous thing. You get to just see it where it is. Let's have a little look in here and see how this is going. Just let the steam fog the camera. It's coming along well. I'm just going to pop this lid over here. What I just want to do is just check to see if there's any dye still hanging out in the water. There's a little bit in there. So we're just going to leave that in there a bit longer. And maybe another 5 minutes. Where are we at? Yeah, no, maybe another 5-10 minutes. It won't hurt it. There's no actual heat on it. Like there's no power on it. It's just the heat of the water with the lid closed. It's just steaming now. Blurple. I accidentally dyed something blurple the other day and it was not my goal. So I had to dye it over to make it the colour I wanted. But it seems that blurple is a step in that particular dye. So it cracked me up because I had to dye, I was dyeing it a bit while I was trying to test something out. Oh dear. Where are we? So we've got some of this stuff is just waiting. It's just a bit of a waiting game and getting the colours just right. Once this one's set in this pot, actually I can actually take it out of here and pop it into another pot to continue setting, and we can use this pot to dye something else. So bear with me 1 second. I'm running away to get another saucepan. So this is still just another one of my dye pots. It's a smaller one. I do not cook food in it ever. But it's really good that if I want a big one for something or I need a pot back for something else, I can continue its heat set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out of here. I'm going to... Where's your little end, dude? Where's your thing? Your doobie thing? There it is. Alright, we ready? We're going to pull it up. Bit of water goes everywhere. That's pretty normal. Pretty normal. Alright. I've got another table over there that I've just popped it on the table, another lid on it. This has actually pretty much taken all the colour out, which is good. I'll pop in a bit more acid water just to make up for the water that is in the yarn. Let that get up to temperature. Now I was thinking, we've got this pretty blue, we've got the purple, and we've got some grey. What do you think if we made a blue-grey version of the Fifi's head? You guys think that's a good idea? Let me know in the chat if you think that we should make the next one blue, purple and grey. That would be good to know. Or we can go blue, pink and grey. So they're your choices. Blue, purple and grey, or blue, pink and grey. Let me have a look. I thought the water would change colour. Absolutely. The water had changed colour, but while we had the lid on, the acid in the water reacts with the dye and the wool, and the wool sucks the colour out of the water. If you've got dye left in your water, it means your dye didn't totally exhaust, which sometimes can happen, just especially with blues and reds. But it means you just need to rinse it a bit more to make sure that it's not going to run. Every now and again it still does. It's horrible, but like we all know, we've bought things from the shop where you know that they hit that hard with chemicals and they've still run. I try to make sure my colours don't run, but every now and again they kind of do. Not very often though, and not a lot. So it's just it's a freak out that I have. So if it's clear like this, it will not run. There is no chance. So yeah. Winter unicorn. Blue, grey and purple. Go pink, blue, pink and grey. I think blue, grey and purple might be a bit too crazy. Blue, purple, grey, blue, purple, grey, blue, purple, grey. So much run because of Vinegar. Absolutely. Totally. Alright, well, let's get the next one in. So this again is the 150 gram skeins of the Marlin 150, which is the Blueface Leicester wool and silk 50-50. There we go. I like to open it out a bit before I pop it in, and that just goes in there like so. Give it a jiggery pokery, just to make sure it's all under the water. There's a bit there, big lumpy bit. Pull out, go into the middle. There we go. Alright, so that is how we like it. Now we're going to go blue, purple and grey, guys, because once I start, that's it. Blue, purple and grey. Sally says her blues always run. Yeah, blues are tricky. Blues are tricky. They need, if you can allow your blue to actually get cold in your pot, it's got more chance of actually not running. But you know, you and I both know it's not always possible to leave it that long. But that's the trick, especially with reds and blue. If you just leave them like I've put that one over there, pop it aside in another pot or something if you need to keep dyeing, and let it get actually cold. Not cool, but actually cold. There's something that happens, like I said, I don't actually know the science, but when it's cold, it seems to, like as it's cooling, it continues to suck the dye out of the water. Okay, Kim's nails are looking great, everybody, just to put that out there. Alright, where's my black pokey stick? There we go, this one, this is what I was looking for. Alright, so I would say the blue is the lightest out of the blue, the purple and the grey. So we're going to go with the blue first. Now this blue, we're using 20 ml in 9 litres, so this is actually going to be quite bright. So we only need little tiny bits. This is similar to the blue mix that I use in TIFF. It's not quite the same. This one's a little bluer. The TIFF is a bit more turquoisey. Does that make sense? Turquoisey. I don't know if you guys can see me when I'm over here doing this, because I've got the chat over this side now. So we've got a bit of blue. Blue. Abby's cast is blue, you guys. She had her appointment yesterday. Now we joke about she's a Smurf. And now she wants to write arm blue on it, and then she keeps going dabba-dee dabba-die. And so we're like, oh my god, where did you get that sense of humour? It's horrible. Chantel in her element. Who knew she was so funny? Oh my gosh. It was shocking. I didn't realise until I stood up I couldn't because my legs were numb. Oh gosh. Does washing with vinegar and salt help with colour running? Absolutely, it does. The salt helps the colour to come back in evenly. Oops, stop that. The salt helps it to come back evenly, and the vinegar is acid, so it helps to absorb it. If you can wash it in cold water with vinegar and salt, if you've got yarn that is bleeding, that's where I would certainly start. If you can get your hands on citric acid, as long as you're not using it on speckly dye, like on those sparkle yarns, like the ones with the bits of gold fleck through them or silver fleck. Citric acid and them don't play well together. It dulls the sparkle. But yeah, give that a try first. Yeah, so when I'm dyeing a solid colour, what I do is actually mix salt to the dye into my dye mix. I actually mix a portion of salt in as well, and that actually makes the yarn be taken up at a more even pace, whereas when you have heat and acid, the second the yarn hits it, it just strikes wherever. So the salt helps to control how that tends to just take it just that bit slow. It's longer to make it colour fast because it does absorb more slowly, but it's kind of what you're after if you're after a more solid coloured wool. Purple, we need the purple. So this is a blend of a few different purple dyes. I don't tend to just use the single colours, just because, I don't. It's not that I don't like the colours, I just want something a bit different. And so that's the advantage of dyeing your own yarn, is you can have whatever you want. You don't have to have what people say is in fashion or whatevs. Like, since when do I worry about fashion? Hello, Wookie T. I don't do fashion. I do try to keep up with the fashion colours, just because there are truly some people who only like to work in fashion colours, and I get that. It's just not me. So I like to dye my own yarns, even for my own projects. I'm not saying I don't buy yarn. I totally buy yarn. Like, oops, make sure you don't drip your spoon over the top of your undyed yarn. Oh yeah, sorry, crows. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. There's, like, from where I'm looking, about 5 meters that way is a massive leopard tree, and the crows just hang out in it. It's so noisy. Wow, so what's Digo? I keep asking for someone to fire that pesky Mr. Autocorrect dude. Yeah, you can totally go into the settings and get rid of it. I'm really liking how this looks in here. So let's get some grey on that. Should we go dark grey or light grey? I'll wait until I hear from you guys when I have a sip of coffee. I probably should have made tea this morning, but I haven't had much coffee lately. Like, I had a cup yesterday, but other than that, I've been like on a real tea kick because it helps my throat a bit better, but I really felt like coffee today. Dark grey from Andrea, light grey from Crochet Clock, light vote. Oh, we're 50-50. I can totally do a mix of both. I can totally do a mix of both. Alright, that's what we're going to do. A bit of both. We have our dye. So to make it dark, we splodge it on. Right? So this one will go nearly black, where it's splodged on in those splodges. But to get some light washing, we swish it around. Now if we want some more sections of light, you can get a little bit here. And actually it's a bit hard in this pan because, do I have another spoon? I do. Hang on a second, I've got another spoon, it'll be easier to do it. So what you do is you get a smaller spoon and you actually come down and push it into the water so it fills up and waters the dye out. So it's like mixing it in the bath, except you've still, like, it's still a version of direct pour. There we go. Just give them a little shush down. What do you think? Do we need a nice big splodge of dark in the middle there? Here we go. Everyone's voting for both. That hedgehog slice went down a treat over here, Kim. Everyone loved it. Even Abby, like Abby's Queen Fussy McFuss Pants, and even she thought it was great. I thought I could hear my inside phone going for a second there. Alright, give that a rinse, because we need that again. So, what do you think? Do you think that's subtle enough, or do you want some more colour in that pot? Let's have a look at what you guys can see, because I've got the chat over the top of it. Oh, I made the chat too big. There we go. You guys can't really see it as well as I can. It looks very dark for you. Let's see. Does that make a difference for you at all? Not really. You can't really see the purples. It looks very splodgy and dark. It's actually a lot more subtle in reality. Let me have a look here. When you dye a semi-solid with speckle, do you dye the yarn first and then add the speckles, or do it in one hit? I dye the yarn first and then add the speckles. I don't do much in the way of speckles, as you know, Emma, because I'm not very good at them. But I find that if I have a nice colour wash first and then add the speckles over, I have one of the ones here that I did the other day. Kim says there's still heaps of white. Yeah, it's going grey though, Kim. That's the thing, because there's grey in the water. So the what's white is going to go grey and sort of purpley blue, and there's still some white though. We could probably pop some more colour over here. What do you think? A bit of what's in that corner? Let's go a little bit more purple. There we go. Add more bubbles. In. A bit more purple over there. Yeah, I probably should have used this spoon the whole time. But yeah, if I'm doing speckles, I do tend to semi-solid, and then I will actually I lay them in a roasting pan and literally sprinkle and mix into a bag, like a little portion of 5 or 6 different speckle colours. I tend to make sure there's a bit of blue and a bit of yellow and a bit of pink, maybe some green, depends on what I'm doing. And then I will actually mix those up in like a little what do you call that, a thingy, Ziploc bag, and give it a shake, and then with gloved fingers I literally sprinkle it over and then steam it down. So I close the lid with just a bit of water and then not a lot, because you don't want those speckles to run, you want them to stay where they are. I tend to find that when I'm rinsing speckles I do have more colour runoff, but that's because sometimes there's a bit on the surface that didn't soak in. We don't want that to stay. Yeah, I think this one's going to be really pretty, and I think we might have to make another one up to match. I'm just going to grab a lid for this guy, pop his temperature back, because I realised we forgot to turn him back on afterwards. When it comes to gloves, I like to use these Second Skins from Hygiene Plus. I find they're just nice and thin, and I don't get as many dye blowouts as I do with, like, say, dishwashing gloves, which are quite funny because I've got short hands but chunky hands, and so I need the medium for my hands, like in my wrists, but then I have like fingers that bend over. So whereas I find with the Hygiene Pluses I don't have that problem, they fit nearly perfectly, and I have more control. And at the end of the day, when you're dyeing yarn, you need control over things, otherwise you don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes that's fun, but if you're trying to dye to a plan or dye to an order or do a resupply of a dye that you do, then you don't want that. I want a deep teal blue grey one now. So just the blues and the greys, we can do that. I've got like 3 or 4 of these marlins left to go. Oreo says I have to make coffee after every craft and chat. Oh, that's funny. I have a coffee during the craft and chats. So we just have to, we might check this pot in a second. I'm just going to have a little drink of water because I have water here as well because I'm a good girl. Alright, let's have a squiz. You ready? That's actually really pretty. Yeah, I'm very happy with that blue. I'm just going to hold it up. I'll just move this lid. Where is an end? Where's, oh, we want this yarn. Now we have to remember that this yarn is going to be paler because it's dry than this one that's wet. So normally only a shade or two, but you do have to keep it in mind when you're matching wet yarn to dry yarn. And look at that, I'm pretty happy. I did want it a smidge darker so that it was a contrast but also still just tonal. And I'm very happy with that. The dye is just about all out of the water. So that just needs another few minutes just to soak. That's a win in there. Woohoo! I'm very happy. I'm happy. This is me happy. So that now means that I'm going to have some really cute sets available with purple, the blue and purple together and the lovely blue. So just in little 3-pack sets. So I'm like, yeah! Very excited about that. A deep red and black. I've got some deep red and black in trials at the moment. I struggle with it because I'm fussy about red. Where are we looking? You like anything with red in it? I've got some new colours coming out, you guys. It is, you hear it first here when you come to live chats. It is a set of colours for the Infinity Marble Stones. So there is 6 colours. They're beautiful and bright. There'll be photos soon, just not yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. I've got to rescan them and make them look pretty. Where are we? Who has that colour? Daigo has that colour. I don't know what colour that is. If 2 pieces of my hedgehog slice are stuck together, they only count as 1. Absolutely. Alright, so I'm going to click over here for the Mystery Lace Club. It is time to plug the Mystery Lace Club. When I dye the Mystery Lace Club, I choose the pattern first. And then I look at the pattern and what I think would suit that pattern yarn-wise. And then I dye to the pattern. So once I know what the hell is going on with my hair. I washed it last night and it's doing whatever it wants. So I will choose a pattern. Then I will work out how many people are in the Mystery Lace Club that month. And then I will dye accordingly. And we've got some really, really fun things coming up in coming months. This month is just about ready to go out because we have Chaos Week coming. So I had to get it all dyed and ready. So it's just ready to be reskeined and all pretty and packed into their cute boxes. I've got to choose a coloured tissue paper to put on it. That's the hardest job for me. No, it's not the hardest, but it's hard. It's hard choosing which colour to wrap it in. So I take all that into consideration when I'm packaging up these boxes so that when you get your Mystery Lace Club box, that it is exciting from the second you open it. But that's my goal, is that you are excited when you receive that box because you know the second you open it, it's going to be like treats. So yeah. Anyway, so Mystery Lace box close-offs are coming up. We've only got 6 more days for the July run, which is such a cute pattern. I'm so excited about July. I'm excited about every month, but July is a really, really adorable pattern. That's all I'm telling you. There's no more spoilers or hints. It's adorable, and you should totally sign up for the Mystery Lace Club for July. I've lost the chat. The chat's run away. Hang on a second. Click the chat. I missed what you guys are saying. Have you taken note of your colours? I wrote down what was in my dye mixes before I went on screen. So when I was actually mixing the dye into the jug, I wrote down what I put in at that stage. And I'll just write down that I used 60 mils of the blue dye mix. 60 mil of blue mix. There you go, Kim. I wrote the notes. I wrote it down. Where we go? Did something happen? I don't know. I've missed something, have I? I've missed something. Wow. did I drop out? Let me just have a look and I'll double check I've still got internet running. Whoops. Yep, that's still running. This is still running. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. Oh, it was buffering a bit. Sorry about that. Where are we? I thought you did more than 60 bills. No, I did a 20 and then... Oh, I did a 20, then a 40. So I did 80 mils. You're right. Totally right. Thank you, Kim. You're totally right. I disappeared, but I came back. Oh, like as in just the whole screen disappeared, or just me shot off the screen? I don't know. I wasn't watching my monitor. Sorry. So this one's just about ready to... Oh, chickens are coming. Go away. You can't come in. Oh, they're coming in. The chickens are coming in. Hopefully you won't see them. No, they left. They're like a gang that just go around my yard and just torment everybody. They're the chicken gang. They're looking at me weird. Alright, so we still have to... This blue is nearly ready. I'll need a bucket or something for that. And then we can start doing 2 at a time of these guys, because I only needed 1 batch of this. Yeah, go away. They listen sometimes, they don't always. The problem is, on this patio, right where they were coming in, is their big tin of chook food. They know that's where it is, so they're telling me they're hungry. The internet is being mean. I want the rainbow yarn, and I'm going to try my first lace soon. So Mystery Lace is calling to me. Oh my gosh. I don't blame you. Mystery Lace calls to me. I love chickens, but I'm allergic to baby ones. I don't buy baby ones. I buy just big ones. I just get them as pullets and they're already ready to lay. I don't have time or the energy to protect them from Snowy the evil dog. She would totally eat a baby chicken, I reckon. Not that we've tested it, but I reckon she would. Snowy really doesn't like pigeons, let me just tell you. Snowy is a mini foxy cross chihuahua that can jump from the ground into the air, rip a pigeon out of the sky and just run away with it. It's bizarre. Okay. Liquid beverage. You know, this actually wasn't hard to set up this for you guys. I think fixing the color balance might be a nice thing to help out with this particular camera. But other than that, we could do another dye day for sure. Not that anyone's asking, but I just wanted to say that. Mystery Lace Club is so awesome. It's totally pushing me out of my comfort zone. Daigo's having too much fun and she's in pain. I'm trying not to laugh, Daigo, because every time I laugh, I cough. And so I'm trying very, very hard. What is die cracking you and Kim was speaking of? Okay, so some colours are made with blends of colour. And if you mix them into the water and become a solution first, like which is what I do here, then they will become that whatever that colour that's supposed to be. But purple especially, because purple is red and blue, especially if you're using powder pigments. It's easier to do with powder pigments than it is to do with gels. But you can actually, when you sprinkle it in, the blues will hit, the purples will hit, and then they blend together, and you'll get a cracking crazed effect of blues and purples and pinks, rather than just the purple that it's supposed to make. So it's just excuse me, sorry. It's just another way to do things and play with stuff, but it also helps you to remember that when you're purchasing dyes and you're buying like a particular colour, like, you know, like this one here is Brilliant Kelly Green. That's going to have blue in it and yellow in it and other types of green dye powders mixed into it. And that's how they get it. So you can crack pretty much anything. Purple's the easiest to crack as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's really cute. Oreo loves the dyeing videos. Oreo says we bring our baby chicks into the house. So that's the problem. Abby would want to keep the chickens in the house all the time then. Once they're babies and they grow up, they need to stay in the house. You should see her. She gets home from school and the chickens like swarm her and she picks them up and carries them around and does dances. I don't know where she gets any of that from. I have no idea. I have no idea where she gets any of it from. It's not me. With purples and black dyes, if you heat them too much, the colours separate. Yeah, black is a thing, but see, I don't tend to overheat because I'm so fanatical about burning yarn that I would rather have to do it longer at a lower heat than risk doing it at a high heat. So that is just about ready. Move that over there. Let's have a squeeze. Let's see if all the dye's out of the water. That could do with a few more minutes, I think. That one's nearly ready. Once these go out to dry, because what I'll do is they get rinsed in delicate wash again, and then they go through the washing machine spinner to get rid of any excess water. Then I hang them out to dry. Once they're dried a bit, I'll get some photos up on the Instagram so you can see what we created today. And I'll also try and get some photos of these blue kits that we're going to have. So what I'm going to do is get this blue out, and then I'll ditch some of this water. Ding. Alright guys, I've got to lift this pot and move it to empty some of the water out, so talk amongst yourselves and I'll take the lid off that pot so you can watch the yarn. Okay, because there's too much in here for our direct pouring. I'll stop it. There we go. It stopped having his fit now. Alright, back. No more talking about me. I hear more beeping. Is that good? Yeah, it was just telling me that I'd left the heat on but taken the pan off. They're very loud and annoying. You can drip dry to break the colours too. Yeah, there's lots of options that you can do for breaking colour. There's heaps. Where are we? Turquoise is your favourite colour. I like turquoise too. I tend to dye a lot of turquoisey colours in TIFF. That tends to be where I go. Alright, so we've got the right amount of water in here. Let's pop in a bit more citric acid. Oops. What colour should we do this one? We've got some colours made up. I can always make up another colour if you want something else. But I think we've got enough dye going. We've got some pinks, purples, greys and blues. So what do you think? Maybe we can, if I put a glove on, we can pop a little sprinkle of something over as well. So yeah, so this one's nearly ready for us to steal it out of the pot as well. Yeah, I might steal that one. I'll pop it over here. And we can do two of whatever we do next. We can do them at the same time. Alright, here it comes. Just letting it drain off some of the water. Bing! Now this pot needs more water. Isn't that funny? Oh, lucky I have a bucket of water. There we go. Okay. What colours are we going to do next? Do a pink and green unicorn one. Oh, yeah. Alright, bear with while I pop some green. What kind of green should we do? A bit of yellow, a bit of turquoise? What do you think? I'll be doing that just over here off camera. You won't be able to see because it's all the dye somewhere else, and I've got my breathing mask over there, which you won't be seeing. I need a jug. There's some water. Do I have a little jug? There's a big one. No, the two little ones I'll use. So what kind of green? Do you want like a bright green or a deep green? Let's have a look here. Neon green, bright greens, deep greens, bright green with a little black. Oh, you guys. Let me have a look. Bright green. We're going to go bright-ish. A smidge of... Where's the... Got any bluer? This needs a bit of citric acid in there. Probably should have used a measuring spoon. Now that it's liquid, I don't have to have my mask on anymore. It's so beautiful. Neon greens. Andrea's hungry. Must be part vampire. Alright, I'm gonna... So what are we doing? Are we doing blue, green and grey? Is that what we're doing here? I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea. You guys have to tell me what I'm doing. What I'll do is have a sip of my water. And I'll get the yarn. I don't reckon you could, Kim. I reckon there's issues with that. I mean, for a start, not being male, that would definitely make life harder. Come on, little colours. There we go. It's a bit warm. Don't use your fingers in the pot of hot water. This one's got a smidge more water than the other one. Let's see if I can do something about that. Sorry, it's just got a bit too much water in there for direct dyeing, so I'm just getting some out. What colours am I doing? You guys are confusing me. I thought we were doing green and blue, but someone's talking about pink. We're doing green and pink. There you go, that's enough. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Green, pink and grey. Is that what we're doing? Green, pink and grey. Okay. Green is the light. No, I think pink's lighter than the green. Let's go with pink first. Bang. Alright, pink. We'll go over this pot. And what are we going to call this colourway, you guys? The pink, green and grey. Alright, we're ready to see how the green came out. Oops. Might just go a smidge bit to start with, just because I'm not quite sure, because you know, I just knocked it up. It's such a good green. Sorry. No, you guys get to see what happens when I make up a colour that I'm really happy with. I'm like, whoa! This looks like watermelons without the grey. Alright. Now, are we making the grey dark or light? Because I don't know, I reckon a light grey might be better with this one, you guys. Or we can deepen out that green and make it just go... Because, you know, we can do that. Currently reminds you of boiled sweets. Me too. It reminds you of something but you don't know what. Light, yeah, let's go light. Alright. Remember how we make it light? We add some extra water into it and we just direct pour it on, all watered down. Oh, a bit dark there. Let's fix that up. There's going to be a splotch there that's a bit dark. We might make some of it darker so it looks like we did that on purpose. Darker green? Yeah, I agree. We'll make the green a bit darker to fix up some of this black that I messed up. Alright, brighter green! So what I'm going to do is actually just go over the bits we've already got green with just some more colour. So how many of these am I dyeing up? You know, out of curiosity. Can you add some fragrance to the water to make the yarn smell pretty? No, I can't. Because it's all chemistry. After I've finished dyeing, I will wash it in Tantex Delicate Wash, which is a eucalyptus lemon myrtle kind of mix, which is good. I have to be really careful because I'm like allergic to everything, Daigo. So I might make it pretty for you, but it might kill me. It looks like candy. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So do you reckon we should try something similar in this pot next to it? Well, this one's here so I can look at it and check to see how we're going. The colour placement will be different because the skeins are put in slightly different, but it's the same deal as with all of these. So, yeah, it's a bit watermelonish, but there's some grey in there now, so unless you've got issues with your watermelons I'm not aware of. Oh dear. Alright, let's have a look here. Alright, yep, I'm going to do another one. I've got heaps of the green, you guys. I'll be dyeing green all day, I think. Green there. And then I went pink first last time, didn't I? Whoops. I'll fix that up in a second. We'll get some green on and then we'll get the pink on and then we'll go back to the green. Alright, pink. Pink was like a little sploshy circle. I think we need a bit more pink in here too, you guys. Just to brighten that up a little. There we go. Don't want to go too hard. We'll ruin it! Reminds me of the toffee apple candy bars. They're a bit more red though. This is very much a fuchsia pink. I think that one's a bit pinker. Let's make this one match. There we go. Needed to finish the circle. I'm not OCD at all. Okay, then we went with some greys. Let's just get the pink off this spoon. And very delicately, Chantel. Don't overdo the grey this time, you insane person. And this grey, this particular grey that this company does, well, it's not actually grey, it's a jet black, but I water it down. It's actually a purple grey, so it goes really nice with some of these softer colours. Some greys are like a green grey or a blue grey. It depends on how the company make them. The seeds are black. Hang on, we should name Chantel's candy yarn. I'm just having a read. Pictures that, yeah, I'll totally get pictures up, you guys, once they're a bit dry, so that we can see how we're going. Did we do any grey in the middle? We did a bit of grey here. Over there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go lids on, you guys. Do I look similar-ish enough, do you think? Stop that. Actually, you can both drop down to 60. Similar-ish enough, but you need to make it match. They match, sort of. This is what happens. What doesn't match? If you've overdone it once and turned out, why not keep overdoing it? It's not always. More green on the left. Oh yeah, I see. There's a green void up there. Let's fix that. It's this grey. Let me have a look. So there's green there, green there. Need a bit more green there. See, total science, not. Makes you wonder how I get any yarn dyed, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about right. We'll just pop a little splodge more down here. Soak that in, little bits of yarn. Ha ha ha. There are dark patches of grey, Kim. You can't play the dyeing game with me anymore, Kim. Make me work too hard. It's supposed to be fun. There you go. Oris is not at the moment. Gifted items last year, but I'm building up a stock of bare yarn. That's a good idea. You can't force me to do more time. I've got the button. I can just turn it off. I've still got a couple of skeins left. So these need to set for a minute. So we can't really do anything else for a little while. Let's put the lids on. Let's have a look here. You need to go along so we can see the end result. No, you can't. You can't make me do nothing. If I ask for a certain colourway, can you do it and send it? I'm not real good with custom colours. There's other dyes that are way better at it than I am, Rebecca, I'm sorry to say. Unless it's something of mine you've seen, I can try and match it, but I'm really not very good at custom colour stuff. Let me look. She's going to do a Jedi mind trick. Good luck with that. Oh, I just drank dye. That would have been good. That's the problem of having your coffee out when you're dyeing. That's bad. Kim says she's great, but she stresses over it. I totally do. Crochet Clock said it wants me to go overtime because it's too much fun. Well, you guys, I do have more yarn here to dye. And we still haven't done a blue and green together yet. I'm just saying, there's a possibility. And they're all in this gorgeous Marlin 150, and this is the last of my Marlin 150, which is the BFL Silk Blend, 150 gram skein, 600 meters 4 ply. Oh my god, so delicious. Super chat. I know, super chats work on me, you guys. It's terrible. I hate to say it, but they totally do. I don't like to push the super chats, but they definitely work. At last, if my coffee was cold, because it's cold out here. It's warm over the pots, but cold in general. You should do a teal and orange. I will do, but not today, just because I've already got all this dye mixed and it needs to get used up now. So at the moment, we've got that beautiful bright green. We've got some of the gorgeous blue, which we can make like bright and pop. We watered it down a lot to get it to that soft blue, but it can be like as blue as that green is green. We've got the pink, we've got some purple. Don't have heaps of purple left, but we've also got some of the grey black, which if you put the grey on and not add the extra water in, that goes nearly black as well, which is great. If you push the super chats, they might get broke. No, they won't get broken. I hate cold coffee but love iced coffee, go figure. Okay, so I like iced coffee. I love iced coffee, but for me it's a sweet treat, whereas I don't have sugar in my tea and coffee, so they're like worlds apart. Also, iced coffee is all milk, so it's creamier, and cold coffee is just cold coffee. Really, I still drink it. I still drank it. I'm going to drink it. I drink it all the time. I've still got water. You have to wait a bit before I can move these out of these pots. If you guys are happy to stay a bit longer, I've got 2 more skeins to dye, and I will happily hang out while I dye them if you're willing to chat to me while I do it. So, you know, stuff and things. Make sure you, I'm not sure if you all do, but follow me on Instagram. I'll put the photos up there. Once they're dry, I'll wait till they're dry because we get a better idea of colour once they're dry. Crochet Clock is staying. I think Andrea will be staying. Emma's here. Jenny's staying. Jenny, is it like 4 AM for you? Oh my gosh. No sugar. I don't have sugar, no. I'll stop that. I turned it off with my tummy. Do you need to be turned off yet? No, you don't need to be turned off yet. Stop that. There we go. We won't do that again. Yes, we will. Totally will. It's because this one's quite close to the front and I keep leaning forward to read the chat. Andrea's staying. She can eat her sushi while she watches. A friend's 18-month drank the... Oh gosh, that would have been scary, Jackie. I've got nothing. I'm saying yes. Everyone's staying. I'm trying to... I have to lean. The chat's all the way over there. I can't even touch it. I could like... And I have to lean. I can listen in the car but not chat. Fair enough, because you've got to go and get your hair did. I need to get my hair did too, but I'm not going to get a chance this week. Stacey's still here. She's just spinning. Hey, Stacey. Oh, it's 3:25, so it's no worries. Use the force. Oh my gosh. Okay, eating peanut butter cookies. You're all set. I'm really jealous. I'm actually quite hungry, you guys. I'm over the pots. Kitchen is over there, you know, but I'm getting hungry. Can you zoom in the chat so you can read it from further? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I can sort of, but it makes it so I don't see the whole message. Hang on. Let's see how that goes. Don't fall. Oh, there we go. I think that's as good as I can. I should just go and get my glasses, right? But they fog up in the pots. Ugh. Let's check. Got most of the dyes out of the water. Let's have a look at the bottom side. Yeah, we've got colour all the way through. They're quite watermelony. The pink's very soft. Yeah, that one's still got a bit of pink dye. Yeah, that one's still got a fair bit of dye in that one. We need to leave that one in there a bit longer. Bang. You stay there. They've got to stay on the heat a bit longer. Might increase their heats up a little. There we go. The pots have lids on. They do, but I have to open them. Andrew says I haven't done any crafting today. It feels good to know there's no more to fix later on. Oh dear. What did you more on mystery lace? See, I've got it pinched and I can't quite see everything. Mistakes. There's no more mistakes to fix later. I get that. I understand. I understand. I haven't done any crafting, like other than like dyeing, in ages. And last week, let me think. I crocheted in last week's video. That was the last crafting I did. It's been busy. It's exciting. Sorry. Holy crap, Kim. Kim, you're unbelievable. Kim has done a massive super chat. Now you have to go for an extra 30 minutes because I super chatted you. I will listen in the car so I will know and buy a stamp with the money. I want to stamp things. I will totally buy a stamp. It'll just have the little yarn ninja. How's that sound? Just a little ninja blue ball. Oh my gosh, Kim, you are unbelievable. Thank you so much to all of you that are super chatting. Far out. That's I don't even know what to say. Yeah, don't cry, Chantel. Totally. Thanks, Kim. Making me cry on the internet. I'm trying not to. Oreo's getting jittery without a craft. I totally understand. Far out. Kim knows I won't end the chat now until that super chat time is gone. I'm not crying, you're crying. Let's look at the yarn and then it'll be the steam, not my tears. That one's good. This one's going to be a bit paler than the other one, I think. A lot less grey. I actually like this one better. The green pops more. But that's what happens. We make some things go better. Quick, get the tissues here. Yeah, I'm actually thinking, I mean, I like this one too, but I like the other one better, I think. This one's got a bit more grey in it than this one, and I think I probably wouldn't put them together in the same project. Probably not. It's an onion. That's right. That's exactly right, Kim. I chopped an onion off camera, and it's the onion. Told you I could make it go extra. Yeah, I didn't think you would do that though. I honestly, that didn't even. That doesn't compute. That's just wave around my pointy thing. I might put that down. I'm going to hurt something. Oh dear. Okay, so I'll double check how many we've got left. I think there's 2. Okay, there's definitely 2 left ready to dye. We've got some bright blue, beautiful green. I reckon blue, green and grey. What do you guys reckon? Or blue, green and purple? I don't know. I always get nervous about adding too many colours in this style. But what do you think? Maybe we could just go hardcore crazy cows. I don't know. You can just send me one of the rainbow yarn. Is that the one from the Mystery Lace Club that's only open to Mystery Lace Club members for I think we have to wait another month before that one's out for non-members. I think I have to double check. Kim is awesome, Sally. I totally agree. I totally agree. Were you guys talking about me while I was ducked away? It happened again. I've got good stuff here and nothing stopped for me. I mean, it's a little glitchy, but it's not terrible. Blue, green and purple. Blue, green sounds fab. Daigo says I asked for printing spelling yarn and got onions instead. Yeah, totally. Blue, green and grey, blue, green and purple, blue, green, pink, yellow, orange. No, we could do blue, green, pink, but I don't have any yellow out or orange. Definitely blue and green, but I'm not sure on the third colour. Yeah, see, that's why I tend to go greys, because I find that they're really good, they're a good foil for the other colours. They make the other colours pop a little bit, especially if they're really bright, like this blue and the green. We can make them real bright. So yeah, we can try that. But we have to wait another few minutes before I can take these out of this pot. This is the downside of dyeing. is you've got to wait until, can you do half and half? Technically, possibly, but that's not how it would come out because these are skeins rather than, there's a lot of dye in this one still. I'm gonna pull this one because it's ready. This one's still got heaps of dye in there. I maybe didn't have enough citric acid. It's going to take a bit longer. I'm going to grab the pot, pull this one, and we can start one. Maybe we can do one with blue, green and grey and one with blue, green and purple. What do you think? Then we can see which one we like better. Green on one side, grey on the other. Yeah, it just, because it's in a skein, or like it's in a circle, plus it's all swished up in the pot, we could do half green, half grey, but that's not how it would even come out in the skein. So yeah, no, the self-striping, it's got to, you've got to do it a bit differently than what we're doing today. We can have a play with some self-striping stuff another day, for sure. Alright, I'm going to get that off. The blue and the purple look really good in this pot. I don't know if you can see that. That's what's in the pot so far. Oh, there's your little end. Come out, little end. Set up. I mentioned how awesome this is. I'm glad you like it, Andrea. Okay. Now we need some more citric acid. If you don't have your acid up enough in your water, the colours don't strike fast enough, and that's kind of what's happened in the other pot, as I forgot to put more acid in. It's not the 20th yet, Andrew, but geez, we're getting close to the cut-off, aren't we? New members of the Mystery Lace Club will have to get in soon if they want to get in for next month. I'm still amazed that the water is clear. Well, I'm hoping that the yarn sucks up all the dye. That's the goal. Alright. Second to last one, you guys. Why are you doing that? I do not like this. This plain is bad. Alright, let's get it in the pot. So what are we doing this one? Is it blue, green and purple or blue, green and grey? I can put the colour in as stripes and then, you know, go that way. Although the blue and the green, the blue and the purple, got to be careful of, they'll go a bit muddy. I need more of this dyeing stuff. It's quite fascinating. I regret not watching Mum do it when I was younger. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to dye. I mean, I'm totally not into dye rules. I think you need to understand safety. Like, make sure you mix your powders with a mask on, and if you're touching the dye with your hands, wear gloves. Aside from the fact that you end up just covered in dye, like that happens, even when you wear gloves sometimes. Blue, green, oh gosh, it's a big mix. So we're going to do blue, green and grey in this one, and then we'll do blue, green and purple when this one's ready. Okay, so we need the, oh, which one's lighter out of the blue and the green? They're about the same. I'll just move back into the shot here. Alright, we're going brights. We want brights, don't we? Let's go bright. Sorry, I'm just pouring, concentrating. Kim's made it so I have to stay, Joss. Have a good day at work. Alright, we've got those. I'm going to do the rinse onto the blue. Alright, you ready? This blue is kind of like big electric. What do you think? Do you like? Oh, I got blue on the green. Bugger. Oh well, that happens sometimes. Not a lot I can really do. I can get a bit more green onto it to wash it out. So it's not quite so obvious. But once the dye's there, the dye's there. Okay. So, do we want... Oh, stop that, you. Do we want grey in here as well, do you think? Or do we want to make it nearly black? My cat is just excited because he can hear the birds in the background. I miss stuff. Captain Coke was spying on us. 3 cheers for Kool-Aid sprinkled colour plus smells great till you wash it. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to make a decision and go dark. Dark. We've got some good colour here, so let's make it pop by making this like black. Nearly black. It's like a purpley black. Whoop. Because of how this stain's laid out in the pot as well, it's not going to be stripes at all. It's totally going to be like speckly bits. Got any blacker? We need to leave this very carefully. See, this is the catch. So you don't want the pot rolling to make like the water in it rolling. Otherwise, it will move all the colour around too much. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. I think leave those little sections white. That'll make things pop better. Or we could make them black. Let's make them black. Let's not have any white. We can lay out black everywhere. Black. With little pops of colour. I don't normally do black, so I'm having a bit of fun with it. I'm normally a grey girl. I normally like everything in shades of grey. So having it this dark, I'm just like, yes, this is exciting for me because it's new. Alright, I'm not going to move that because otherwise it's going to mix the colours together. She's having too much fun. I am having too much fun. This is what I love about dyeing, is that it's just fun. Like sometimes, especially if I'm doing custom colours, that's scary and feels like work. But normally, like when I was doing all this sort of stuff, that was just fun. That was just me going, what colours do I feel like today? And I tend to dye in colour families so that I don't have to keep washing the pots, just in case a bit of a previous colour touches. And I will totally wash a pot if I have to. I'll just put this over here. Let me have a look. But yeah, it's you know, I'm going to sprinkle some acid in there. That's just not setting. There we go. Bing! I should totally do it now. I got sticky fingers from the acid. There we go. I'm not a big blue. Hang on, I got my mouse there. But I love that. Oh, there you go. Where are we? Do you think the black will break? Hopefully not. I like it as it is, so I'm hoping not. Made an amigurumi Hawaiian minion and just need to make 3 more flowers for the crown to finish. You're having too much fun. Sorry, Daigo. Sorry. I'm just having a read. Andrew, your heart isn't as black as mine. Oh dear. Gosh. Alright, so yeah, that blue is a nice blue. That's a good blue. That's the thing, and that's the problem I have with custom dyeing. And I always use this example because it's like the most obvious, which is someone says, I would like a skein of sky blue yarn. And then you go, okay, what time of the day and what hemisphere and what what continent are you on, because the blues change depending on the type of sun, whether you've got warm sun or cold sun, or like in winter the sky blue is just this beautiful bright like wow blue, whereas in summer it's got more of that yellowy sort of hue to it. But it's difficult because we all perceive color differently. It depends on the individual person as to how they perceive color. And so while someone can totally explain something out like left, right and center, it just may not end up like, I might think, yep, I have nailed that, and then they get it and go, that is nothing like what I thought. So yeah, it's one of those things. You want to make Karamoa from Moana. That sounds fun. I haven't made amigurumis in ages. I love it I love it now, autocorrect adding random letters. I think there's some serious issues with autocorrect. Alright, I'm going to pull this one. I'm going to pop it in its own little tray so that it doesn't do evil. Hang on. I have a stash of just trays sometimes. It'll be hot. It's going to be hot. I might put it on the table and then pour it. No, I won't. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to pick it up and just get it out. But I will swap that water out on this one. Oh no, look, I think it's the acid picked up the colour. There we go. Anyone for spaghettis? Alright. Yeah, so that colour ended up going clear anyway. So that's good, but I will put some more acid in. For this batch, so that we don't have that problem again. Now what are we doing with this one? This is the last one, you guys. We've got pink, purple, green, blue and grey. So what colour do you want to go? I've never heard of evil yarn. I have. I'm just mixing the extra acid in. Sometimes the citric acid makes the water a bit cloudy, but it doesn't affect the dyeing, so you know, it's all good. Drop that one's temperature down, increase that one's up a bit. Let's have a look. Oh, I like that one. Pink and green, we just did pink and green. Evil faces, wanted dead or alive, Mr. Autocorrect. What if we go purple, green and grey? Not black, but grey. How does that sound? Let me know. Oh, there's still a slight pink hue to this water. Whoops. That's alright. We're about to cover we'll cover that. Get rid of that. Probably don't need any more water in there. Alright. Oh, we were going to do blue, purple and green. Alright, blue, purple and green. Let's go. Can I do spots or do you want stripes again? I go dance because my knees are hurting because I've been standing for 2 hours. Drip dot with all the remaining colours. Alright, drip dots it is. We shall use the little spoony bits. Pink's the lightest. Let's go with pink first. What happened to using the glove and speckling? I think we were just talking about how I speckle. I don't believe I was going to do any speckling because I don't have any speckle bags made up. If that makes sense. Drip, drip, drip. I'm not very good at speckle dyeing, Nat. It's not my strength at all. Andrew says blue, purple and green in spots. Oh, I've already started with the pink. That's right, we'll just do spots of everything. Alright. Pink. Blue. Try not to be too purposeful, because random is better. It looks random then. If you try to randomly place things, you end up making a pattern and it's never actually random. Rebecca, this is a family-friendly chat. I'm not going to say like I doubt you would be. I'm just saying. We have said things that we've that probably don't make Cat wanting something. Oh, you never listen to me. Nope. I'm just going to get a spots with everything because I could, you know, we couldn't choose. It's going to look so good. Trust me. No, don't trust me. It's going to look crap. But it's alright. I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. Risk it for the biscuit. I reckon some yellow would be good in there, but I haven't got some yellow made up. Purple. Where is the purple? Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Splotch, splotch, splotch. Ooh. Go over there. And there. There's a big white spot. I'll have to get some more blue over there, I think. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Sound effects. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I just frogged an error I made on my virus shawl that I'm working on whilst watching and found another error from a previous row. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nat. Someone should have warned you. Not me. I don't warn anybody, but someone else should have warned you. It's someone else's fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's someone else's. It's Kim's fault because she's not here and she made the chat go longer. I really like how this is looking, you guys. What do you think? Do you like it as well? It looks like confetti. It totally does. I wonder how many colours of Bruce's would be in wool. What? I don't know what that is. I have some 30ml bottles with micro tips I could send you. I appreciate the offer, but I tend to make my dye up in like litre batches, and I think I'd just end up stabbing somebody if I had to deal with 30 mils. We don't want me stabbing people. What do we need over here? We need something in this big white splodge because it's right on a edge bit. So I'm thinking some pink. Some pink would work. A little speckle of pink. It's pink. Because the pink seems to like lift it, doesn't it? It does look like confetti. I have to be careful pulling it out of the pot because there's all dye up around the sides as well. I don't want to go too hard with anything. But we do have to be aware that while these splodges sit nicely here, there's not going to be much underneath. So we do have to, I hate to say it, we're going to have to push them down so that we have a bit more of this going on. Maybe I can put some on the edges, a bit of blue. It was the blue and the what? It was blue and the pink that made me go, yummy. A little bit of pink. Because while it's good to have some white, there's going to be a lot of white in that. Just pour in the dye mix. A tiny bit more green? A bit more green? Okay. Where are we at? You could leave it like that and have a semi-solid speckle yarn. Totally. What green? I added green. You could leave it like that and have a semi. Well, I mean, it will be, but it'll be a little. Oh, look, I'd like it. So if it doesn't sell, I don't care. So there we go. So that's generally how I think I like it. I need a lid. Where's the lid? The lid's over here. Okay, let that cook. That one's cooking. How's this one looking? Let's have a little poke. The water's clearing up nicely. There's still a bit of blue in it. So that's good. So I'd rather blue than grey. because the grey would just kill all the colours. There we go, lids are on, you guys. Have we had fun? Have you guys enjoyed dyeing time with Chantal? Oh dear. This is what I do. This is the fun part. Dogs are about to lose their mind. I heard the postman. This is the fun part of my business. The dyeing of the yarn. Not the paperwork. Definitely not the paperwork. You see it on the left. Which one? Left. Is this the left one or is that the left one? Because this is my left. So take the lid off. That's the colour combo on that one. I like lots of bare. Yeah, I like bare colour too. And that's this one. They're coming along. They're doing good. So what I'll do next is I'll go through and I'll wash everything down. Give everything a rinse and then pop it through the spinner, and then while it's hanging I'll try and grab some photos so you guys can see what we created. I wonder if your neighbours say to each other, oh look, she's talking to her pots again. I don't even want to know what my neighbours think, honestly. If you come out here, through like when I'm not dyeing, it's just washed stainless steel pots, a pile of, because I've got 3 of these cookers, a pile of cookers and a whole pile of glass jugs. My mum came out here one time and thought I'd started becoming a drug dealer. I would have thought the company while you dye is a great thing. Totally. I don't normally have anyone to talk to, and I stand here and talk to the pots because that's not at all weird. I'm pretty sure I've told you how awesome it's been to watch you dye. I think you may have mentioned it, Andrea. I think it may have come up. Yeah, I think it may have come up. Oh dear. Wow. Oh dear. Okay. You guys, what sorts of yarns do you like? Like, we've dyed a lot of this Marlin 150, which is the 50% BFL, 50% silk, in the 150 gram skein, 600 meters. It's a 4-ply equivalent. Is there something that you prefer? Like, do you like 8-ply? Like, I did a whole pile of 8-ply yesterday. In lots of different cool colours, where I had some purple breaking actually. If I had it handy I'd show you. I'll pop some photos up so you can see. But yeah, I don't know, what's your favourite weight of yarn or blend of yarn? This really has been awesome. I've been in such a sour mood but completely changed around. I'm so glad, Crochet Clock, that's awesome, I'm glad. So dyeing don't take that long, all except the drying process. Yeah, this has been a bit sort of higgledy-piggledy. When I'm planning out colours and things like that, that takes a bit longer sometimes, but we're playing here. We're having a good time. But no, you generally have to just make sure it heat sets, then it's got to rinse, then you need to spin it, and then you need to dry it. Well, for some reason it didn't like your message, Sally. Hang on a second. There you go. But yeah, so, you know, maybe half an hour to an hour per 100 grams. If you can, like what we did with the blue, that was a lot quicker because we had quite a few together. So yeah, Jackie says, got to go, crappy night's sleep, catching up with me. See you next time, Jackie. Have a good night or day. Yeah, the tears are flowing. Why are the tears flowing, Daigo? What have I missed? I missed something. I've started crocheting and now wanting chunky yarns. Ah, there you go. I love working with 8-ply, but thanks to you now I like working with the finer plies too. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad. Yeah, I think it depends on what your project is. Like, some things are better than others in different yarns, but I like them all. Like, that's my problem, is I don't actually have much that I go, oh yuck, I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan of chunky, but that's just because I live in Queensland and it is, what do we call, we're subtropical. So if I make stuff out of chunky, I don't really get to wear it that often. Even DK, like 8-ply stuff, unless it's silk or cotton, I don't get to wear it that much. So Oreo likes a 50-50 camel silk blend. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. I totally need to get my hands on some of that. I'm going to be dyeing up a 50-50 tencel merino. It's going to be so shiny in a super lace weight. That's going to be gorgeous. Ah yeah, Oreo, that's what it is. It's that word. It doesn't like fingering. Doesn't understand that fingering is also a yarn weight. And also when you're playing piano and lots of other things that aren't rude. Is Jenny off? Jenny's off. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jenny. It's 4 a.m. I'll see you next week at 2. My hands hurt working with chunky yarns. Really? I didn't know that. Tencel is awesome. Yeah, I like Tencel. It's one of those things, though, you sort of have to, you know, think about where does the yarn come from, and how is it processed. But, you know, sometimes I just go, you know what, I just want the yarn. But yeah. Alright, lovelies. I too am going to love you and leave you. I'm going to head off and wash all these out and start getting the photos up and things like that so that we can all see what we created today. I need to pop over to the office and pack some orders and sort some stuff out, so I'm at home. I was going to stay home and dye today and then realise I've got some other things I've got to get done over at the office, so plan dead. But yeah, so I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to come and hang out in the Fiberific Fun Zone on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram for seeing all the photos of our cool fun toys. But yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, I agree, Crochet Clock. It is definitely the least impacts the environment on all the plant-based yarns for sure. Oh no, she's done. Loved us and leaving us. Totally, that's exactly right. You guys, it's been so good. Thank you again for hanging out for so long today. It was a big one. And we've got some pretty yarn to show for it. We'll see you next time. Bye.